Alright, so we have a lot of roast beef left over from our last cook. The French dip. The roast beef sandwich with dipping juice.
Yeah.
I don't want it to go to waste. So we're going to make something that's special to me. I lived in Florida for a while. I met this lady named Mary. She was from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
She made something called stuffed bread. It was amazing. Now she used pastrami. I'm using roast beef. And she put parsley in it, but I don't have parsley. So we're going to make a Philly cheesesteak version of stuffed bread.
Ooh.
Compliments of inspiration by Mary. So, first thing we're going to do, we get an artisan loaf. I've got an Asiago one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut a checkered board pattern into it. We cut all the way down to the bottom, but not all the way through. So that when we're done, it looks like this. That way we can stuff everything in the cracks. So,
yeah, you gotta be careful which cracks you're stuffing.
Yep. It is true. And you can go like this and like this if you want, but that's a long loaf of bread to do that with. So I do diagonals.
Diagonals.
And it helps to have a sharp serrated knife or just a good sharp carving knife like the one I have for meat, but this knife's pretty good.
Did you know you need special knives for bread? I didn't. Until today.
So, and yes, I did wash my hands before I started.
It's implied. What kind of chef wouldn't wash their hands, right?
A bad one.
A bad chef. That's just trying to add more flavor to their food.
But I'm not a chef. I'm just a guy who seriously loves food. And happens to be good at cooking it.
I'm just the guy who really loves eating food. And will hang around Joe. Eat all the scraps.
Yeah, my wife can't have gluten or dairy, so a lot of the stuff I cook I take to work.
And then I get spoiled.
And will get spoiled with it. So, there's that. We'll set it aside for now. So then while that's going, we're going to take half a stick of butter, quarter of a cup, 4 tablespoons. We're going to put it in a big skillet, get that melting. We're also going to put some extra virgin olive oil on it, or as Rachel Ray says, EVOO.
I haven't seen Rachel Ray in a while. Maybe she got intimidated.
She's got a show and she makes dog food.
Oh, she makes dog food. So now her fancy cooking is for dogs.
Mm-hmm.
What a shame. People won't be able to enjoy your food anymore.
Now just remember, there's no way to stop an onion from making you cry if you're not used to cutting onions.
Can you make the onion cry?
I've never tried.
Earlier, we already made it sweat, so now we just gotta make it cry somehow. Have you tried saying that it's
I've called it names, it doesn't.
father smells like elderberries?
Nope.
I thought for sure that would get it. Or their mother was a hamster.
That'd be weird if this onion's mother was a hamster.
That would be weird.
Alright, I'm just going to do a rough chop on these. Yes, I know my knife skills aren't the best, but I'm careful, right, sometimes.
Joe still has all of his fingers. Original parts included. Not sold in stores. So what kind of onions do you use?
I like yellow onions, sweet onions, or Vidalias in these.
Okay.
Red onions they're really purple. Don't work so well in this. Red onions are more for like something raw, like a hamburger. Like raw as in like the onions raw. So I'm gonna put that in there. We're gonna cut up this Anaheim chili. You can use a bell pepper, but I don't care for the taste of bell peppers. And I like a little bit of spice. So what we're gonna do now is pop out the core and the seeds there. And all the heat is actually in the ribs of the pepper. Not so much the seeds or the fruit itself.
So peppers have ribs?
Yeah, it's the white pulpy stuff.
I was gonna ask if they had other body parts.
Those are ribs. They have a skin.
They do. I don't think they have a liver or a kidney though. So
like if you don't want the heat, just kind of run your knife like that. Take out the rib as you cut. And it's easier to cut a pepper skin side down than to try to cut it skin side up. Just remember that. Skin side down.
now you have one of Joe's famous life hacks.
Actually, I got that from Bobby Flay on a TV show.
Bobby Flay.
Was it Bobby Flay or was it Tyler?
I have no clue.
I think it was Tyler.
So just one Anaheim pepper?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the peppers. I don't want too many, so you can do more if you want.
If you want more of a kick, you can use different peppers, more peppers.
If you want to play a cool joke on your friends, put some bell peppers in it, and then put some of the habaneros, because if you get an orange bell pepper, the habanero looks just like it.
It's true. It's just a small bell pepper that's trying to kill you.
I made chili verde once and put habaneros in it because I liked it, and had a friend that wasn't used to spice, and we told him they were bell peppers, and he cried.
So Joe's good at making other things cry.
So we're going to get those sauteing up. We're going to put a little salt in them and some pepper.
Look at that sizzle.
And we don't need onion powder or celery salt. We'll put some garlic powder in it.
Apply liberally or conservatively, depending on your political stance.
Or just your taste buds or who you're cooking it for.
Yeah.
So we'll let that sit and stew for a bit. And now we're going to move on to cutting the roast beef. And if Will show you, we already cut up cheese. We've got 2 cheeses. Here Will chopped up some sprinkle cheese that goes on top of dishes that are flat and round.
Also known as mozzarella.
And this is low moisture and not necessarily part skim milk. It gets a better stretchy flavor. And this is round white cheese.
That's leftover white cheese. Also known as provolone.
Alright, and once again, this is the leftover roast beef that we made. And that we smoked. And you can see that smoke ring on there. So this will be really good. And we're just gonna chunk it up.
Do you think these meats smoke jewels or just go straight for the carton?
I think they go for dime bags.
Dime bags? Oh, okay. They're going for the wacky stuff.
This is that special smoke.
It's special. Don't actually smoke your meats with dime bag stuff.
And just so you know, because of the work that Will and I do, we kind of joke around about drugs and
Alcohol.
because we have to make light of it. We don't use it, but
teenagers do. I don't think this cow is a teenager though.
their parents use it too. So if we've offended you, sorry.
Not really.
It wasn't intended. If it's intended, we'll let you know. But we don't know you guys, so why would we make fun of you?
Yeah, exactly. Only once we get to know you will we make fun of you.
I'll put this first little bit in, cut up some more. Give this a little stirry stir. How's that smelling, Will?
Delicious. It smells so good. Onions, all that garlic powder. Delicious. Maybe this is a simple enough recipe. I bet you could Google it and find it, or you can follow what Joe said. It's not like he added any extra steps. It's pretty easy.
Try to cut down on steps. Honestly, like, you can do whatever you want with stuffed bread.
Yeah, stuff it with pepperoni and add some mozzarella sauce on top.
Mozzarella sauce or
Mozzarella
marinara sauce?
Marinara. Italian red sauce.
You could do ketchup if you wanted to.
If you really wanted to, you could do ketchup and oregano. The poor person's pizza sauce.
Still better than school lunch food.
It's still way better than school lunch.
Since you said ketchup, ketchup actually started out as a fish sauce in China.
So ketchup was originally made for fish.
So if someone tells you not to put ketchup on your fish,
They're wrong.
tell them that that's what it was made for.
They are very wrong.
Guy Fieri taught me that.
Guy Fieri, a national treasure. I don't think not Jack Nicholson. Who was the guy a national treasure? Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
I don't think Nick Cage has tried to steal Guy Fieri. He might though.
Guy Fieri might steal him.
Guy Fieri might steal him too. Who knows? The hunter may become the hunted. So how much meat are you planning on chopping up?
Like 2 pounds maybe. I don't know. I just go until it looks good.
Joe follows his eyes.
My stomach.
More importantly, his stomach.
So we'll call that good. It's probably about 2 pounds. Since the meat's already cooked, we're not worrying about that. We're just trying to get the onions and peppers a little pre-cooked. So that's pretty close. So what we'll do now is I preheated the oven to 350, and now we need a bowl to mix our stuff in. We'll go with a bowl. And then one thing we'll do is if you take a bowl, turn it upside down, put that on there. Makes it a little bit easier to stuff.
You see how it's opened up? It's because Joe said the magic word.
I didn't say open sesame. So
Joe's just trying to be modest.
now this is good and done.
Make sure your bowl is heat safe.
Yeah.
You don't want plastic. Unless you do, I don't recommend it.
Here you go, Will.
Ooh, I gotta try some?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is good.
Is it good on salt?
I think it is.
Okay. So now we'll put in the circle white cheese, or the round white cheese. That was actually probably made, we looked, it was made in Arkansas, right?
Arkansas. Or was it
Smells-
regular Kansas?
This sprinkle cheese was probably made back in Wisconsin or something.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, so you've got that, the cheese in there, and give it a little toss. Still quite warm.
Once again, make sure you have your parents' permission. Even if you're 45, make sure to call up your parents and ask them for permission.
Ask your mom if you can use a knife.
If sadly your parents have passed away, we recommend a Ouija board. So,
Yeah,
that's how important your parents' permission is.
Or you can get a medium to come help you.
Or a median, like Whoopi Goldberg.
She might channel Patrick Swayze.
You might get the wrong spirit. His permission is good too, though.
Hey, Haley Joel Osment might be able to do it for you too.
Oh, yeah. But you gotta make sure it's a medium. You don't want a small or a large.
So actually that bowl's a little bit too high. So we're gonna do this on just one of these plates. Doesn't separate it a lot, but just so we're just gonna go through and stuff these cuts that we made.
Stuff it. More than a Thanksgiving turkey. Or a tofurkey. Is it a tofurkey?
Tofurkey.
A tofurkey.
There's also a turduncan.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. A turduncan.
I don't do that tofu stuff.
Make sure to clean your counters once you're done with this.
And before.
And before. You don't want mice, ants, or other various pests in your house.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. If Especially if you're making this recipe in Washington State. You gotta be careful with that Sasquatch.
Or Florida man.
Or Florida man. You don't want Florida man breaking into your house. But that might be inevitable.
So, we're not being perfect. We just want to have good bites. Will, have you ever had stuffed bread?
I've never had a stuffed bread.
Have you ever heard of it?
I have heard of it through Facebook and Instagram, but I've never tried it. This is why you need chef friends.
Not a chef. Just a guy who seriously loves to cook.
Look at that. It's almost doubled in size. So this should feed a family of 2 if you're starving.
I used to make this for a friend of mine, and I'd have his wife stuff the bread. Her name was Lisa. I wish she was here. She was a better bread stuffer than I am.
Takes skill to stuff bread.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lisa is also from Florida, so that's pretty ironic.
Are you saying the people who stuff crust are artisans?
I've never considered that.
Well, now you know. The people who stuff crust and pizza crust are now artisans.
Alrighty, so that looks pretty good and stuffed. So what we're gonna do now, get some good old aluminum foil.
Aluminium if you're from somewhere else.
And we're gonna double sheet this one.
It's so thick you gotta double sheet it.
This over here. Let's get these stragglers on there. Alright, and then we'll get that all folded up. Put that in a 350-degree oven.
I'm ready.
Alright, so it's been 20 minutes at 350. Now we're going to open this up. Look at that stretchy cheese action there. Oh, look at that, Will.
Oh, look at that beautiful newborn child.
It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It's more gorgeous than I could ever imagine.
Alright, so this is a finger food, Will.
Okay. How many fingers do I need?
However many it takes. So, here you go, Will. Let me take that off your hands.
That is delicious. 10 out of 10.
Alright, and then just look at that.
Did you just look at it?
Would you look at that? Just look at it, it's beautiful. I wanted to show you our little supervisor we've had all day. This is Winnie. Hi, Winnie. Winnie the poodle. She's the supervisor. So, please like and follow us and tell people to make our food. All right, bye.